Welcome to the source. The source. Source. Hey, get the source.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope you all enjoyed your weekend. I had a good one, man. Baseball's been kind to me. So I had 3 of the last 4 days were winning days, but 2 of them were great. Yesterday I went 3-1, but 2 of my hits were plus money, and one of them was a bigger bet. I put a full unit on the Mariners at plus 105. So another good day for me. And you know what? Dallas ended up pushing my plus 7. So I'll take that. It was a nice Sunday. Hope you gentlemen are doing well. We just got one WNBA game for today, but Skee's coming back on Wednesday and Friday this week. So we'll be able to get multiple perspectives instead of just Chris. Even though Chris has been good with the WNBA recently. Hopefully that continues. But actually, he got mad at me for saying that last time because he thought I was jinxing him. So I won't say shit then. All right. So the WNBA game tonight, Indiana, Connecticut. The line is 10.5. Chris, Skee says he likes his bet, requested the back cleanup and go second.
Okay, that's cool with me. The line, this line actually opened at 8.5. Got bet all the way up to 12.5. Came back down. I think it's like you said, 10.5 now. I actually like total in the game a little bit more than the side because I do feel like Connecticut is the strongest defensive team in the league. They're coming off a loss, of course, against the Liberty. And could they keep the game within 10? Potentially. They did get smoked in the first game of the season between the two. But no, not under. Over for the team total. Connecticut Sun team total over. I think the number is 85.5 on some books, 86.5 on some books.
You love that Connecticut team total over. I feel like you've played that 4 or 5 times this year.
No, I think I played it twice and they lost the first one. But against the Fever, they scored 92 points in the first one. They scored 88 in the second one. They covered the first game, didn't cover the second one. And it's pretty simple, man. Fever defense is terrible. They give up a bunch of points in the paint. And that's where Connecticut actually struggles on the offensive end. They're scoring in the paint. Indiana has a defensive rating that's almost 110, dead last on the road. I don't think that they're going to be able to slow down Connecticut. I think they're going to try to play faster. That's a big part of the cap as well, is that if you're if you're Indiana, why not try to run a little bit faster so you don't have to play against a set Connecticut defense? So, I just think that, they've already done it twice. I don't see a reason to think that they won't do it here again. 85.5, 86.5. Is the number that I like. And last thing I'll mention, Fevers have also allowed 5 of their 7 opponents to score 90 points or more on the road. I'm not trusting the Fever defense. I see them get lit up by the Mystics the other day on Friday, and that was the Mystics team that was short a couple players. So give me Sun team total over 85.5 today.
Skee, are we going Fever money line here? Have they pissed Caitlin Clark or not? Are we going with that?
I don't know if I'm gonna go as far as going to the money line, but I'll take the Fever plus the 10.5 points. You probably heard the quote. She's talking to her coach saying that they woke up a monster, and they've had this is their second game, I believe, in 8 days. That's a lot of time to work on whatever's been going wrong. And a lot of games they've been playing this season have been on a rest disadvantage. They're finally at a rest advantage. So I like all those things for them. Query wise, I'll give you guys one. It goes back to 2015. Double-digit road dogs off a win. They're 73.7%, 14-5-1 against the spread with the rest advantage. That is the Indiana Fever tonight. And I like what Chris was saying as far as they can play faster to help, not having to play against that set Sun defense. Problem with the Sun right now is, as bad as Fever defense is, Sun's offense hasn't been great either. They've been the second worst offensive rated team last 5 games. So I think that the Fever will be able to stay within double digits tonight.
Okay, Fever plus the points. Our community agrees with Skee, 56.28%. Skee, does it do anything to your confidence level to learn that S-Dot's on the same bet?
Nah, S.Dot's good with me, man. When we ride together, we do all right.
Oh yeah, I like him personally. I don't trust his bets for shit, but I like him personally.
Hey, Kyle, let me ask you real quick. Skee, you think, as far as total, I think it opened, like 160.5? I think it's come down just a tad bit. I saw it touch 161. I think it's back down to like 159.5 last time I checked. You think it's more of an over game or more of an under game? Because I saw the team total for Indiana like 74.5, I think it was.
Well, if I like the Fever, it's not necessarily because I think they're about to go out there and get a lot of stops. So I think I would think it's an over game. I think that's correlating to the Fever too. So.
Okay. Yeah. So we both can cash. I like it. 88 to 84, like it was last time, and we both win.
And some people are in the comments saying that there are 84.5s open too. So if you line shop, you might be able to get an extra point on that Connecticut team total over. And yeah, I see you in the comments, Cash God. You got unlucky, man. The betting league starts today, and Cash God drew Kyle Kirms on day one. So I'm sorry, man. Like I wanted your experience with the network to be positive. I'm just have to deal you an opening day L. All right, so there was only one game, so that's all we got. Make sure you give these guys a follow. They both have their own YouTube channels and do their own shows at different times too. So whenever you're looking to watch some live sports betting content, chances are you can catch one of these guys on. Skee's just a couple hours before me, and Chris comes on in the morning. So all different time slots available. You can get good content from these two guys. Make sure you show them some support. Gentlemen,
appreciate you
having me on, Kyle. Best of luck tonight.
Chris, see you tomorrow. Skee, see you. Oh, Skee, if you want me to, I know there's no NBA on, but if you want me to come on tomorrow and talk, give out an MLB bet or two, just let me know.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, if you're up at 5 a.m. West Coast time, Skee, when I go live in the morning, you're welcome to come on. He been popping in the chat, Kyle. Like he just be up.
It's not because he's. It's not because he's waking up though.
Right. I know that.
It's because he hasn't gone down yet. All right.
All right, brothers. Have a good night.
Later, guys. All right. Is that Toast with the empty seat? Yeah, that is Toast. I just see a empty chair. I think it's Toast. He just has it. He's not standing at his computer right now. Let's talk some MLB baseball. And yeah, Cash God, I saw your bets. I don't hate your bets. So it should be a good matchup tonight. The best matchup, though, in the league is System Plays versus Gab. Toast, I'm echoing back a little bit to my... All right, cool. So yeah, the System Plays versus Gab on the first day is hilarious. The whole Discord is rooting for Gab. Like everyone wants to see System Plays go down here. I like System Plays picks though. That under in Toronto, Milwaukee is kind of sharp, and yeah, Gab's got a minus.
I'm taking Cash God in that matchup. By the way, I'm taking the money line.
He's trading at like plus 195.
Seems like good value to me.
What's Skee's podcast called? It's just called Skee Profit. If you just type it into YouTube, it comes right up. Kyle, invite the winners on the show. I'll definitely be giving them shout outs and all that. They also get a little Sauce Network Weekly Champion trophy mailed to them. All right. So let's get it started. We'll start with Baltimore, Tampa. I did a YouTube video on this one. The bet didn't make my final ticket, but everything on paper points towards the Orioles here in comfortable fashion. I mean, Tampa Bay's not hitting at home. They're not hitting righty starters. Corbin Burns has been great. Corbin Burns has been great on the road. On the other side, you got Pepio, who's been struggling against bad lineups recently. Baltimore always hits on the road. They always hit right-handed pitching. The Orioles' bullpen is rested. I mean, this on paper is just a clean sweep as far as handicap handicap in favor of Baltimore. It should be Baltimore by 6 runs on paper, but there also is the aspect that Baltimore immediately flies home. In the video, I said they fly to Atlanta. That was wrong. They fly home to play the Braves. So they've already taken the first 3 games of this series. Do they get caught looking ahead at the Braves series and maybe it's a little bit of a flat spot? I call bullshit on that. I think that's razor thin. But if you are looking to bet Tampa, I guess that's something. For me, you can put up minus 1.5. It would be Baltimore minus 1.5 for pass, but it's just a pass. I couldn't bet there. If Tampa had taken one of the first 3 games, I'd be down to play this. But the fact that Baltimore took all 3, I don't know. I didn't want to force it. So it's Baltimore minus 1.5. Didn't actually pull the trigger on it.
Tampa Bay first 5 money line plus 124 for me personally. First and foremost, Baltimore really hasn't done much in the last couple of games as far as early in the ball games. All their runs, I know that they're putting up a whole bunch of runs, but a lot of those runs are coming off that weak-ass Tampa Bay bullpen. So if with this low total at the game at 7.5, the books are kind of telling us that runs are going to come at a premium. And yeah, Ryan Pepio hasn't been great at times, but I feel like he's been hit or miss as well. I mean, he had this shin issue. I mean, again, I'm not trying to make a case that he's some stud, but at the same time, yes, he has faced mediocre lineups, but he has performed pretty decent at home. So again, with this total at 7.5, like I said, obviously their runs, they don't expect a whole bunch of runs. So can the game go over and a whole bunch of runs be scored? Yeah, but I think that there's a little bit more of a coin flip in this first 5 than people are giving them credit for. So I took the Rays at plus 125 in the first 5, and I'm pretty confident. I'm happy with it.
Here's the thing with the total, because I agree with what you just said, but I feel like the odds makers have been pricing this total way too low this whole series. It's been sitting at 7.5 and 8. I've been on the over for 12.
I know, but you're cashing when Baltimore's scoring 7-8 runs in 7-8-9 innings. So I mean, you're winning your bets, but I mean, is that something that you're going to count on for them to put up a 4 spot every 8th inning?
No, I just don't think Tampa's going to score.
Okay, there you go.
Modi.
Yeah, I got a dong in this one. I got Ryan Mountcastle to hit a home run plus 450. I also, on my own channel, I gave out him and I gave out Anthony Santander, but I figured people don't want to take 2 in the same game, so I just took
Santander.
Mountcastle. That's
Sorry,
how
that just made me laugh.
It felt like the bank.
Santander. But how is it pronounced?
Santander.
I can't.
Santander. Wow, I'm uncultured swine.
Santander.
Santander and Andy Pages is about to smack tonight.
All right, Ryan Mountcastle. So Pepe Le Pew is worse against right-handed hitters, which is why I like Ryan Mountcastle a little bit better. And Mountcastle is better against right-handed pitching as well. And like Pepe Le Pew isn't awful, but he's really bad at allowing fly balls, and specifically allowing fly balls to right-handed hitters, while also allowing hard hit and solid contact to right-handed hitters as well. It's just a horrible match for right-handed hitters. But like his fly ball rate, and this is on the entire year, not like a recent sample size, on the year, it's 59.7% to righties, and his hard hit rate 12% higher against righties as well, 35.8% hard hit rate of all batted balls to right-handed hitters. That would be the worst fly ball rate in the entire MLB, and the 5th worst hard hit rate as well. And Mountcastle's hit 5 home runs over the last 2 weeks. All 5 have been against right-handed pitching. Its fly ball rate is 45% on the year against righties. In the last 2 weeks, it's up to 52.9%. And his hard hit rate against righties over the last 2 weeks is 55.9%, which would be the number 1 in the MLB by a mile, which I get. Like 2 weeks against righties is a tiny sample size, but just to show you how hard he's been hitting the ball. So he's my favorite play tonight. And these are the only two dongs that I have. It was not a dong friendly day, so I just took these 2 in the same game. Just wanted to fade Pepe Le Pew, and that's where he got. That's where he went.
Mountcastle at plus 420. Yo, see, I told you, Andy. Someone just commented the Horns Frogs hat. I told you this is to get the comments going. This is a nice hat right here.
TCU.
Yep. All right, let's move on to the next game. It's Rockies Twins next. Man, I really wanted to pull the trigger on this one, and I wouldn't even say the door is completely closed on it. I maybe I end up with a bet down on this, but spot-wise, it would only be Rockies here. You got to so take into consideration the Twins just finished up a road trip. They immediately fly back home. Dakota Hudson away from Coors Field has been okay. I mean, he hasn't been bad. I know Chris Paddock's been pretty good at home, and the Twins usually win when he starts at home. So there's that. But based on what we've seen from the Twins bats, yes, I know they put up a bunch of runs and finally won a game against the Pirates in the last game of the series. But based on what we've seen from the Twins bats, I just don't think there's any world they should be priced this highly. So actually, you could put Colorado plus 1.5 for me. It didn't actually make the ticket, but to be honest, the reason I didn't bet it was almost like the price was too indicative that the Twins are going to win this game. I mean, minus 240, I would imagine a lot of people are going to take shots on the Rockies in that spot. And I also believe in what Toast was saying last week, that the Rockies are a dead team and one of the worst teams in baseball. So even though this is a bad spot for the Twins, who's to say you could still beat the Rockies in a bad spot? I mean, you probably can. So I ended up passing on this one, but I really wanted to get there with Colorado at plus 1.5 or even the money line. So Rockies are passed for me.
I got there. I don't take runs though. Rockies first 5 money line at plus 190. Rockies money line at plus 198 as well. I split them up between both of them. I understand that the Rockies are a bad baseball team, but I'm also not in a position where I think that the Twins should be a minus 200 favorite against anybody right now. And yes, Chris Paddock has pitched. I shouldn't say, I don't want to say he's pitched well for the Twins because he's been pretty lucky, but the Twins, like Sauce have said, they've won when Chris Paddock takes the mound for whatever reason that may be. But he's really starting to show some signs of vulnerability. His last start at home and on the road, it was against the Yankees and the Royals, but he really did not look good there. And then the start against Texas at home, I don't think Texas is very good at all, so that doesn't really do much for me. I mean, he looked decent on the road in Cleveland. I'll give him that. But I mean, again, his 2 home starts in his last 7 games, the only ones that are really impressed me are Seattle and Boston. Those bats don't really impress me. Now, I can understand that you say, well, Toast, the Rockies bats suck as well. Sure, but they're actually, I understand that they've played one of these games in Coors Field, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, their last 5 games, they're hitting the ball. And to be frank with you guys, what I saw in St. Louis, like, I'm okay with the Rockies bats right now. I mean, since the Cincinnati game on Sunday or on Wednesday, they lost. They scored 3, 5, 6, and 1. I think that the Rockies bats are live. And like Sauce said, Dakota Hudson's been fine on the road. His last road start, 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run ball at the Los Angeles Dodgers. I mean, he went 4 innings, 4 1/3, 2 runs against the Giants. He pitched decent against the Padres. He pitched decent on the road against Miami. Like, I wouldn't mind an under here either. But yeah, I took Rockies on first 5 and full game. Like, this price is absolutely ridiculous. And by the way, yes, the Twins did score yesterday, 11 runs. But why did we bet, or at least why did I bet Minnesota yesterday? Because the Pittsburgh bullpen was absolutely taxed. And guess when the Minnesota Twins scored their runs? In the 10th inning. They put up 7. So again, I don't even really put too much stock into that. So yeah, Rockies both ways for me.
Bodai?
Pass. I got nothing. I would probably back you guys on the Rockies, but I didn't officially take anything in this game.
All right, pass. Let's move on to the next game, please. Yanks Royals. All right, this is the one everyone wants to talk about. It's a really interesting one to bet. There's a lot of moving parts in this one. There's so many different avenues you can take as far as angles to bet. So obviously, there's the one that jumps out and hits you right at the face, right? It's the Royals at home with Seth Lugo on the mound at plus money. I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with that.
Coming off his worst start of the year.
Coming off his worst start of the year, yes. A couple points against that. Now, Prop Beaver, I don't think we have a graphic, but I'm on Royals team total over 3.5 is my bet.
No
so you
way.
Can go and, yeah.
Same thing. I sent it out last night.
Oh, shit. All right. So
we didn't even talk. That's why I said
it out last night, too. Yeah. So Royals team total over 3.5. And all right. So there's Seth Lugo making a home start. Yankees coming off Sunday Night Baseball with a travel. Huge series, national TV against the Dodgers. I see it, right? Makes sense. Why wouldn't you play him at plus money? Well, Seth Lugo, as good as he's been, his numbers against top 10 lineups actually don't look that great. He's done a lot of his damage against bad lineups, and this isn't a diss of Seth Lugo. I'm just reading you what the numbers say. I mean, his numbers against top 10 lineups versus righties, mediocre at best. So the Yankees, obviously a top 10 lineup. Now, is Juan Soto going to play? A lot of people are saying yes. I'm also reading some things that indicate he might not play. So none of us know for sure. I don't think he's going to play. I think he's going to be available off the bench, which is what that report that Toast shared in the Discord said. I think he's going to be available and active, but I don't think he'll be in the lineup. So the Yankees without Soto, are they a top 10 lineup? I mean, they had Trent Grisham batting 5th yesterday. I don't know if that sounds like a top 10 lineup to me.
Did you see what Trent Grisham did?
Yeah, he had a blast. Did you see what he did last year?
Yeah, he played 155 games
and sucked. So
center fielder.
All right. So Lugo, you can go 2 ways: at home plus money, or it's pitching against the Yankees. He hasn't been good against top 10 lineups, so you can play it both ways. That's why I stuck with the team total over for the Royals, because that, I feel, is our safest avenue. The Royals bats at home are as good, if not better, than any other lineup in baseball. The Royals hitting numbers at home are insane. They're just a different animal at home in Kansas City. And Rodon's been awesome, but the Royals have crushed lefty starters. They've crushed left-handed pitching. And yes, they've crushed him. In his last 7 starts against the Royals, he's 1-5 with like a 7 ERA or something crazy. He's gotten rocked by this team. And the reason for that, he's a lot better against lefties than he is against righties. He struggles with righty bats. Kansas City's got 8 of them, 7 of them. They're loaded with righties. They got righties out the ass in that lineup. So, and also Rodon has some of those splits too, where he struggled against good lineups. His numbers are similar to Seth Lugo's, where he has dominant numbers against bottom 10 lineups, not so great numbers against top 10 lineups. Kansas City, top 10 lineup. So Royals are going to score. So that's the safest route. I also think Royals at plus money is probably the move if you want to bet a side, but I feel the safest bet is just to play the team total over. So I did.
Yeah, so just to piggyback off the Rodon versus lefties versus righties, really good. 264 WOBA, 1.00 whip, 3.3 xFIP. But versus righties, the average jumps to about 310, the whip's 110, and the FIP's 442. I mentioned that because Kansas City should start 8 right-handed bats in the lineup today. The only lefty in that lineup today should be Vinny Pasquantino, which is obviously really good for us in the Royals. Sauce touched on it. His last 3 starts, Carlos Rodon, last 3 starts against Kansas City. Well, last year for the Yankees, he pitched in Kansas City, didn't record an out. 6 hits, 8 runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts. Like I said, didn't record a walk. His previous 2 starts before that in 2021, 9 total innings, 16 hits, 8 runs, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. I don't put too much stock into those ones from 2021 because it's a different Royals team. But my point is, Kansas City and Kauffman Stadium has been an absolute house of horrors for Carlos Rodon. So if you're going to give me the Royals at team total at 3.5, I thought it was going to be at least 4.5 juiced, like nice plus money. It wasn't, so I jumped on the 3.5 as soon as I could get it.
Yeah, so we're in agreement in that one. Modi, what do you think?
Yeah, I like your guys' play better than mine. I just took the over 8.5 the full game because I kind of thought both pitchers I wanted to fade. Like Seth Lugo, I get that he got rocked in his last start, but he was due for some regression, and I kind of think that's going to continue. And then Carlos Rodon, absolutely, I want to fade. Like his 3.08 ERA is just due for regression, for lack of a better word. Expected ERA 4.24, FIP is 4.23, xFIP is 4.24. All of them are full run over his ERA. He allows the 16th highest barrel rate at 9.4%, the 12th highest hard hit rate at 42.9%. I do think that the Royals should be able to get to him, and I kind of feel the same way about Seth Lugo. He did get rocked in his last start, so maybe that was the regression coming for him. But like his expected splits aren't as bad as Rodon, but he's still lucky to have a 2.13 ERA. Like his expected ERA 3.79, FIP is 3.48, xFIP is 3.92. So I think he's probably due to see a little bit more bad luck. But I honestly kind of like your guys' play better than mine.
Well, no, I like the over.
I was gonna say, to your overs point, somebody just messaged me and I forgot to ask me about bullpens. Kansas City's bullpens taxed to among Bolivian.
That's kind of though.
I'll get there, but yeah, Royals is bad. Yankees aren't going to have Clay Holmes, and I would be surprised if they used Luke Weaver after 24 and starting a road trip. I mean, he could be available, but depending on how long Rodon goes. But yeah, I like your over too because the bullpens are not in a good situation at all.
Yeah, agreed. This is a big matchup in the betting league too. Shipley has Royals money line, and he's playing Sir Spliff, who has Yankees -1.5. So Shipley's going to take an L if the Yankees win this one comfortably. Next game, please.
All I was going to say is that, unrelated to sports, I appreciate your audience because a lot of them recognize my shirt, which I appreciate. So I just want to give everybody that recognized it a shout out.
It is a nice looking shirt. It's a smooth looking shirt, Matt.
Thank you. And it's not even about. It's from an anime, like one of my favorite animes. And the
I thought it was New York Red Bulls.
Nope.
That's exactly what I thought.
Could not have been more opposite than the New York Red Bulls.
What's opposite of the Red Bulls?
Anime.
But like, what specifically is the character's name?
It's from Naruto. It's a logo.
Oh,
for
Naruto, yeah.
A bad
that one yet.
A bad group. It's solid. Anyway, so I just want to give a shout out to your audience.
Cool. Yep. Toronto, Milwaukee. I bet this one.
Me too.
Brew Crew up.
Facts.
Okay, so Toronto has been hitting recently, so this isn't really a fade of the Blue Jays lineup, but it is a kind of a shitty spot for them. I mean, they travel all the way out to Oakland, play 3 games, then without a day off, travel all the way to Milwaukee. They just went to extra innings last night, used all of their main bullpen arms. Now, they're going to be available because they were rested, but still, you play a game, go into extra innings, then fly from Oakland to Milwaukee, and all of your best bullpen arms have just pitched. It's not something I like to see. And then Colin Rea, say what you want about him. I mean, obviously, we don't think Colin Rea is an all-star or anything like that, but his numbers at home are solid. he's pitched pretty well at home in Milwaukee. He's actually done a decent job as of late. If you just look at his last 3 starts, he's got a solid looking numbers. The expected FIP's a little high, indicating he's had some good luck, but still, Colin Ray hasn't been nearly as bad as you think. It's a bad spot for Toronto, but on the other side, I could see how you would like Berrios here, but it is on the road where he's worse, and the Brewers at home have been wagons. They are one of the best home lineups in baseball, and whenever you get a team that hits well at home, coming off a road trip, it's always a little bit of a buy low situation because the Brewers just played 6 road games, didn't particularly hit well in those 6 games, so all of a sudden, people's opinion of the Brewers lineup is lower than what it is. Then they get back home and remind you, like, oh shit, the Brewers can tattoo the ball at home. So a little bit of a buy low in the Brewers lineup, but mostly second half of this game is not close. I mean, the Brewers bullpen is more rested, and it's better than Toronto. So whatever you think about Colin Ray versus Berrios, second half of this game, it's all Brewers. Milwaukee money line.
You got something, Modai? I'm fixing one thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, all good. So this play is going to be scary. I took Jose Berrios under 17.5 outs. It's plus 128 odds, so it's really just a play at the plus 128. He's only gone over this number, he has gone over this number in 11 of his 13 starts. So this bet would have only cashed in 2 of 13, but that's also why we're getting plus 128 odds. And I really do think that he's primed for regression. Kind of like what I talked about with both Rodon and Lugo. All his expected stuff is way, way worse than his ERA. Like, it looks great at 2.8, but his expected ERA is 4.4. His FIP is 4.39, and his expected FIP is 4.09. So he's nowhere near as good of a pitcher as just like the blank 2.80 looks. And the Brewers lineup, they're not the best in the world, but they're top 10 in basically every metric you look at against right-handed pitching over the last 2 weeks. 9th best WRC plus, 9th best WOBA, 10th best WRAA, 10th best OPS, 3rd best on base percentage, and 4th best average. The only reason why I kept those last 2 is just because like getting on base and hopefully getting a bunch of hits just means that he can rack up a high pitch count, which means that he doesn't go as far into the game. So yeah, I like the spot to fade Jose Berrios, and I think for plus 128, like I think it's worth a shot there. Okay. If it's minus 110 now, then that changed since I got it because I got it at.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I got it at 128. I guess I didn't realize if it moved to minus 110, then it might be a pass, to be honest.
I had mixed feelings about Berrios here because on one hand, he's on the road against the 2nd or 3rd best home lineup in baseball. But on the other hand, the Brewers have actually really struggled with his particular pitch mix. And they have 5 lefties in the lineup, and Berrios usually does a really good job against lefty bats. So there's actually a couple angles I like for Berrios in there. I was kind of indifferent about the first 5. I just feel I have the strong advantage in the second half of the game.
It's still plus 128, by the way. So I just wanted to let people know it's not minus 110. You can get plus 128 at FanDuel. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah, I'm on the Brewers as well. It's just one thing I just want to add about with Colin Ray is that he has been better, and then he also is pretty well against right-handed bats. The right-handed bat, I mean, I trust him to pitch well against. It's the lefties that bother me. Let's check how many lefties Toronto has in that lineup. 1, 2. Okay, cool. So I expect Colin Ray to pitch well here today. Not to mention, again, he's one of those guys that the Brewers just tend to play well when he pitches. 7-3 when Colin Ray starts. System plays. Has the Brewers struggled with the sinker? Yes, but guess what? Berrios isn't really throwing his sinker that much anymore because it's getting freaking tattooed. That's why he's moving to a 5-pitch mix right now. So I will take my chances with the Brewers as a short home favorite.
Okay. Next up, White Sox Mariners. Let's get the poll going. But I can tell you pretty quickly, didn't have a ton of interest in this game. I like Fedde. I like what I've heard people say about Fedde this year, but I also like Logan Gilbert. I mean, I guess if you put a gun to my head and force me to bet this game, like maybe White Sox are past, but I'm not betting it. Put the gun down. Not betting a game. I guess a prop beaver. You know what? Oh no, you can't. I was gonna say put up under or pass, but like it's 7, so I'm not even putting that up.
Don't do it.
Give me
or 5 over 3.5. Put that up. Easy money.
Let him talk. Yeah, because I have nothing to say anyway.
Yeah, love this play. First 5 over 3.5, minus 120-ish or whatever. First of all, this is me just going back to a bet that continues to treat me very well this year. These 3.5 numbers in these games, it doesn't take much. It has essentially one pitcher can have a bad inning and we cash this. Eric Fetty has been fantastic at home. On the road, not so much. 5 innings, 3 runs against the Cubs, 5 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs against Milwaukee, 6 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs against Toronto, 4 1/3, 4 hits, 5 runs against St. Louis. I expect Seattle to put up a couple runs here today against Eric Fetty, which probably isn't saying so much. And then as far as Logan Gilbert is concerned, I like Logan Gilbert on the road way more than at home. His last two starts at home, 6 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs against Houston, 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs against Kansas City. I understand that the White Sox aren't great and they were terrible for a long time, but since they won that game, they've scored 6 runs, 6, 7, and 4. And the previous couple games before that, they put up a 6-piece against the Cubs too. So I'm not trying to make a case that I think that this White Sox offense is really good or anything like that, but 3.5 in this first 5 against a pitcher that I like way more on the road and has shown that he's had a little bit of struggles at home this year. Yeah, I really like this bet. So I almost have a full unit on it.
I mean, I do get the bet, and if I was forced to play a first 5 total, I'd be on that side. But part of me thinks like, okay, Logan Gilbert, yeah, he's historically better on the road, but it's the White Sox. He could definitely he definitely could throw 5 shutout innings. But
yes,
so yeah, but I would, if I was to bet the first 5 total, it would be that way. Modi.
Yeah, I kind of have the opposite of Toast. I have Logan Gilbert over 18.5 outs. Plus 128 odds. It's really, I mean, again, it's getting into the 7th inning and getting at least 1 out. He hit this last time and I was on it. And after like that brutal stretch where he gave up 3 or more runs in 4 or 5 starts, like the 1 start since he's been good. He went 7 full innings against the Athletics, 5 hits, 1 earned run, striking out 5. I think he's going to have a good game tonight as well. The White Sox offense, like they're not worst in the MLB by any means against right-handed pitching. They're slightly below average. And really, like I thought Logan Gilbert was unlucky to when he got rocked in those starts, just looking at his advanced stuff. So I was expecting him to bounce back last start, and I'm kind of expecting that to continue. 3.12 ERA, expected ERA 3.44, FIP a 3.64, next FIP a 3.57. Not like an ace, one of the best pitchers, but also not terrible. Sierra's pretty low, 3.46 as my dog barks. And the White Sox, like they're below average across the board. They're not terrible, but they're below average. 18th in WRC plus, but the rating's at 90, so a little bit below average. 17th WOBA, 17th WRAA, 16th OPS. So I think Gilbert should be able to pitch well against them.
All right, Logan Gilbert over 18.5 plus 128, so a nice payout on that.
And if you're looking for somebody to get a hit, Gavin Sheets.
Gavin Sheets to get a hit. All right. Next up is Oakland, San Diego. And you know, all I'm thinking about with this game right here is the system plays Gab matchup. Gab has San Diego money line at minus 225. What a ballsy play. So yeah, it's Oakland on the road in San Diego. Didn't have any interest in this one either. The only other game I'm interested in is the next one. It's Houston, San Francisco. So I really don't have anything to say here. I guess I would lean towards Oakland at this price, but no chance. It's just straight pass.
I played Padres minus 1.5 at plus 115. It's at minus 110 now. I wouldn't play that, to be dead honest with you. I just expect Dylan Cease to pitch well here today. I'm well aware that he gave up 3 runs to Los Angeles his last time out to the Angels. I also don't think he pitched absolutely terrible in that game either. But he's also talked about facing this Oakland lineup again. He got absolutely throttled by this Oakland lineup last year when he played for the White Sox. I expect him to pitch really well here today. And then not to mention the fact that the Padres have everybody rested and available in their bullpen as far as behind him. Joey Estes is a guy that actually hasn't been that bad, but the Padres have been really getting the right-handed pitching right now. And say what you want, but Fernando Tatis is on an absolute tear right now. So Manny Machado is going to be back in the lineup as well tonight. Not to mention Oakland is going to be without their top 2 bullpen arms because they were used yesterday in that extra innings game. Going to play on Oakland tomorrow with the lefty on the mound, but today Padres minus 1.5.
Yeah, don't even put anything up for me. Modi, do you have anything to say for this one? I want to talk about the next game.
Yeah, it's not one of my favorite plays, but I do like the price on Cease over 8.5 strikeouts. It's at plus 125 odds. This is kind of another one similar to Jose Barrios. It's like he's only gone over it in 2 of his 13 starts this season, but I think he's due for an explosion type of game against the Athletics, kind of like what Toe said. Not that he said he's due for an explosion, but due to pitch well. He's really good strikeout stuff. Like everything about it is elite. 8th highest strikeout rate in the MLB at 30.5%. Swinging strike rate is 4th highest. Called strike plus whiff rate 9th highest. And the Athletics, they have the 3rd highest. Sorry, I'm having someone do work on the house and my dog's just going nuts. The Athletics
dog barked?
I saw someone comment that and I laughed. They have the 3rd highest team strikeout rate in the MLB against righties, but over the last 30 days and the last 15 days, they have the highest. And then over the last last 2 weeks, like 0.1% lower than the Rockies, so the 2nd highest. So I think that he could get to 9. Like I get that it's scary. So I would put this for a half unit, but yeah, that's where I would go with this one.
Dylan Cease over K's. 8.5 is a big number. He still likes it. It is Oakland. So Bob Beaver, skip us over to the last game. And this is a cool one. Didn't bet it yet, but I'm down to. And I kind of want to talk this out, Toast.
I bet it. Oh, I already bet it. So,
all right, why don't you go first, and then I'll share what my thoughts are off of yours.
Couple things for me. Can play. First of all, Giants money line for me. Kyle Harrison has been pretty bad. If you look at his stat lines, I'm not trying to make a case that Kyle Harrison's been good. But at the same time, it tells me that if this price is minus 105 to plus 100, I just feel like the books kind of are telling us that he pitches kind of well tonight, especially with the total at 7.5 or 8 now. A little bit juice to the over, but still. I just feel like the Giants are playing really good baseball yesterday. Even with that loss yesterday, the Giants have also played really well at home. They're 17-14 at home, which isn't great. I give you that. But they've also lost their last 6 games at home. They lost that series to the Yankees, and then I think that the series that kind of carried over, and they lost a couple games to the Diamondbacks. They won that game against the Diamondbacks. They came and looked decent in Texas as well, and now they're back home against Spencer Arrighetti, who's coming off his best performance of the year against Seattle on the road. But prior to that, he hadn't been nearly as effective on the road. I just have a hard time believing that he can replicate that performance, even though the Giants aren't very scary at the plate. I still feel like that they can probably get to him, not to mention the fact that the Houston bullpen is extremely taxed. 3 of their top 4 arms have worked back-to-back nights. Hader worked yesterday, and he's not one of those 3 I just talked about. He worked yesterday night and blew the save. I mean, I pray to God that they send Josh Hader out there tonight. So I've played the Giants 4 days in a row. I said I was going to keep playing them. I'm 3-1, and I'm going to play them one more time here today. So I told myself if this line was minus 105 plus 100 when I woke up this morning, it's the first thing I was going to do when I this morning when I bet it, and it was, so I bet it.
Okay, so I do agree with a lot of what you said. No question, second half of this game, San Francisco's the only side I want to be on. That being said, I'm not convinced the Giants get to Arrighetti. He's looked pretty good recently. We're talking about a couple good road starts in a row. I don't have a ton of faith in the Giants lineup. And I mean, he struggles against lefties. The Giants do have 6 lefties in the lineup, but it's mostly the back half of the order. They got a lot of their key pieces are righties. Not crazy about that. So in the first half, I'm not sure if I want to be on the Giants side, especially.
I'll say one thing. He's had 1 good road start. That's it.
Hold on. Spencer,
so
last 2 road starts.
7 runs to Milwaukee, 4 runs to Chicago, 5 runs to the Yankees, 3 runs to Oakland, 0 runs to Seattle.
So his expected FIP
correct.
His last 2 road starts were good.
The regression monster is not coming to get him anytime soon.
Yeah. So, okay, his last road start was excellent. 6 shutout innings in Seattle. But regardless, on the other side, Kyle Harrison, right? Kyle Harrison has some ugly looking numbers against righty bats here. And the Astros have a shitload of them. 8 to be exact. So I'm with you as the Giants would be the only side, but I think the better move would be either to just hit that over that juiced 8 or wait and try to play the Giants live. If this game, if the Astros take an early lead, maybe like a 2-0 Astros lead, you jump on the Giants live. That's the way I would play this one, is either just the over or Giants live. And to be honest, maybe I'll do both. Moda, what do you think? Let's see if he has anything that helps my decision making here.
Unfortunately not. I was looking at Arrighetti and backing him in his outs prop, but I saw someone in the comments saying that's what they thought I was going to bet, but I ended up just passing on this one. I didn't have anything.
So, okay, so Toast thinks the Giants are going to get to Arrighetti, and it's not that I disagree with that, but if he thinks that, then let's take the over.
I don't want to say. I mean, when you say get to, I just don't think that by the 6th inning, I don't think that the Giants are going to be out of this game. I guess that's
right. Okay, so yeah, that doesn't really co-sign my over much.
I don't mind the over. I don't mind the over. I will say, I know. I saw a little thing going around. Remember, what was the team that had won whatever that was their like 53rd game of the season or whatever, like 40 years in a row or something? Well, this is that game for the Astros. They've won the 65th game of their season like 15 years in a row, or something. 67th game of the season like 15 years in a row. So I thought that was funny.
With that though.
No, I'm just saying, like, I just thought that was cool. I wasn't like, yeah. I know
That's
some
sharp.
people
That's-
will bet off of that, and so
That's
I
sharp
just thought-
betting. Yeah, I mean, that's just.
But because of I can't remember the other team. If the comments can say it, let me know. But there was another team that had the same type of stretch, or they hadn't lost.
Said Marlins. But probably were saying Marlins.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. It was like the 49th game of the year for the Marlins or some shit.
That's the only reason I mentioned it, because people are going to talk about it because the Marlins did win that game.
Yeah,
53rd game, 11 games or 11 years in a row.
The Astros bullpen is dicked here. I mean, this is bad. So
Is that like getting donked or?
Oh man,
What's the Giants team total over at? Maybe we could all come to a minus 133.5. Feeling indecisive. I'm feeling indecisive. Let me look at these totals. You can get a minus 115 over 8. I'm just gonna screw it. I'm no more overthinking this. I'm just taking my over 8 minus 115 right here on FanDuel. I'm betting it right now. Give me the over 8. Lock it in. All right. Hold on. Actually, let me get this bet down because I have a habit of being like, I'm gonna bet this, and then ending the live show and getting to work and forgetting about it. So let me actually bet it.
Done that.
Yeah, and then you look like a liar. It's like, oh, I actually literally forgot. All right. So bet placed. I'm in. Let's do community parlay. Play your funky music, Prop Beaver.
Community parlay, the parlay we bet, yeah. Community parlay is for the community. We community, making a parlay. Yeah.
All right, we're back. Said, wait, this isn't your full-time job? Yeah, when I mean get back to work, I mean get back to preparing tonight's videos. My job isn't just when the show ends that I'm no longer working. All the videos you see and all the graphics, it's a lot of work. So, community parlay. Prop Beaver, do you have the polls prepared, sir? Up and running, he says. All right, let's start with some Orioles money line. Did they like the Rockies plus 1.5? I think they did. So put Rockies plus 1.5. Royals money line. They like the Royals, right? Put Royals and Yankees. Put Royals and Yankees because that's a popular game. And there's only 7 anyway, so we still have 4 for the second poll. So put Royals and Yankees as both options.
I unmute the stream, but I have to read the comments every time the community parlay song comes on.
Yeah, it's a hit.
It is.
I'm trying to get him motivated to put out another track. There's a lot of pressure because
where's the Dong song? People have been asking.
I heard the melody for it. It's catchy.
Is it fire?
Well, here's the thing. It's because the community parlay song, the reason it was funny because it was kind of like, what the hell? But now, like, shit, like, do we actually have to make it good? Like, does it actually have to be a good song?
Well, first of all, the community parlay song is good, but also not.
It's like so bad that it's good.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, a lot of people are asking about the Dong song.
You have the folder muted, maybe?
I think it needs to be a remix to the thong.
Whale
song.
Goat Pritchard. Did that hit?
Or we might get sued by Cisco.
Did Pritchard go over, Andy?
He ain't suing anybody over that shit.
I needed 3.5. I needed 4
true.
points. No, I know he had 3. Did he score a 4th point? Are you kidding me? How long does it take you to look this up? He finished with 3 points. Your guy sucks, bro.
Who?
Peyton Pritchard.
Oh, he hit that buzzer beater.
Yeah, but I needed over 3.5. It's the only shot.
That's tough.
That just shows you that Missoula isn't cut out for this shit. Not getting the only guy on the team that has heart the ball. Orioles money line. Then there's a 2-way tie. Shit. Put Orioles money line up, and we'll solve it on the next poll.
And I don't watch NBA like that, but I watched yesterday. Does Boston shoot threes like that all year?
Yeah, like the most ever.
Jesus. Okay.
All right.
I was like, what are we doing?
Mariners money line. Or Mariners minus 1.5, maybe.
He said like
Padres minus 1.5. Would they like Astros or Giants? I can scroll up and look. They like the Giants. Giants money line. And you know what? Eliminate the fourth option. We'll run a poll with these three. First and second are making it.
Giants.
And then we'll do one more poll with the remaining choices.
Orioles are in for sure, right?
Yes, Orioles are in.
Okay.
Someone said, are they going to play the dong song every time he comes up with a dong? Yeah, but it's going to be like a short thing. Like it's going to be like I don't want to give the jingle away because he probably shared it with me. It's like a short little thing.
Can you send it to me that I can post on my own channel?
Prop Beaver's dong is a short little thing.
It's not about size, Prop Beaver. Don't worry. It's how you use it. It's how you use the dong song.
So it's Giants money line. And what's second place there? All right, we'll just run a poll with the remaining four and take the two highest. All right. So the remaining choices are for the last thing we need. So throw in Royals money line, Rockies plus 1.5, Mariners minus 1.5, and Yankees money line. So it's the winner of this poll. That's the last one.
There's this thing on the Twitter yesterday about all these ants holding this cookie, and there was one ant on the top, and it said, "This is Jason Tatum," and I tagged Andy, but he didn't respond.
He wasn't appreciative of that. What is he, a Celtics fan?
Someone said, Kyle, did you have plus 6.5 or 7? I got a 7 on DraftKings, so I pushed HVAC girl.
No, they were saying that he's really defensive about Jason Tatum. So the first thing I saw negative about him, I posted it.
And he can't hear though. He would get upset though. He doesn't like when people talk shit about him.
That's funny.
He also like weirdly defends that the players on Georgia basketball, like the one dude with the blonde hair, Blue Cane. Prop Beaver like jokingly made fun of him, and Andy didn't like it. Royals, all right. So the community parlay: Orioles money line, Giants money line, Padres minus 1.5, and Royals odds, please.
Padres minus 1.5, 14 parlay. Jesus Christ, 1250, 1264,
1264. Community is feeling aggressive. So Orioles, Giants, Padres minus 1.5, and Royals. All right. We forgot. We got to start doing underdogs that you'll prepare for the show. We don't have it for this one, but starting tomorrow. All right. So tomorrow, same time, we got 15 games. So tomorrow will be kind of a loaded show. I got Crispy Cappin and you Capper coming on for WNBA. Yeah, that's the schedule for tomorrow. Same time. We got a bunch of videos going out tonight. So if you like watching those videos where I do the full handicaps on the MLB games, we should have at least 5 or 6 coming tonight. So just stay tuned. They'll be up later. We're all set. Thanks for watching as always. Remember to bet responsibly tonight. Best of luck in your league match. Let's go, Gab. We need system plays to keep catching an opening day loss here. There's also there's a couple good matchups. Charles is up against Nick Johnson. That should be a funny one. But yeah. All right.